let's talk about Paddington 2. So Paddington 2 is, of course, about Paddington. So, you know, now in this installment, Paddington wants to get his Aunt Lucy these movies oddly sometimes revolve, or at least the last two and three, revolve around Aunt Lucy. Like, she's a troublemaker. But this time, Paddington wants to get Aunt Lucy a book that sort of talks about all the different landmarks in London, and he wants to give her this book because Aunt Lucy has never been to London, and that was her dream, to go to London. She's like, I'm gonna get her this book. It's kind of expensive, so I need to get a job. And over the course of the film, he gets framed for stealing the book because Hugh Grant's character believes that the book can lead to this treasure. Basically, I think it's like a treasure. And now it's up to Paddington and the Browns to clear his name and to prove that it was Hugh Grant who actually stole the book. And yeah, this is an incredible movie. This is a 10 out of 10 amazing film. And I love this movie so much. And I love the first two Paddingtons a whole heck of a lot. Like, these are two really extraordinary movies. I think that everything that just could have gone right within the creative process of making 1 and 2, I think absolutely went correct. And yeah, Paddington 2 is, I think, one of the most perfect movies ever made, and there is a reason why it has like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I don't really put a lot of stock into Rotten Tomato, like the meter or whatever. Like, a lot of people don't really, but like there's a reason why this is still like at like a 99 or a 100, you know. And yeah, it's just incredible. This is an incredible movie. I love what they do with the comedy. Paddington always looks real in all these movies. The visual effects, the characterization, the writing, the witty dialogue, and like jokes. The use of miniatures is honestly quite astounding in this film, assuming that the miniatures of like the house and of the prison are real. Like, those are really impressive miniatures. Hugh Grant, this is probably like the first movie I've ever seen with Hugh Grant in it. Obviously, I've watched every Guy Ritchie movie he's been in. My mother's a big Hugh Grant fan from his rom-com days in the 90s. But I legitimately don't think I had ever really, because I knew who Hugh Grant was, but I honestly don't think until I saw this film when I was in college that I knew that I had ever seen Hugh Grant in anything. So that was really cool, and that was really fun. And yeah, I love this movie. Also, kind of annoying. This is the same image. I noticed that like almost immediately. Except this time his sandwich is cut into a 2. This is like the same image. What the heck, Warner Brothers? Shout out to Sony, giving credit where it's due. Shout out to Sony for actually coming up with an original image, I guess this time. What the heck, Warner Brothers, being so cheap. But yeah, this is an amazing movie, and if I had one complaint, that's honestly just a nitpick, but I mean, I do really love Paddington 2. Paddington 2 is like the best. It goes like 3, 1, 2, because 2 is so amazing, and like Brendan Gleeson as Knuckles is great, and all the prisoners are just amazingly cast in this film. And there's some actually really good, surprising, like British themed cameos in this movie. Like, I think that the warden is somebody. There's like this funny British dude who looks like the cosmonaut, Marcus from the Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He's this British guy who was also in like Soul. He's in this. He's a famous British comedian. Obviously, the first movie has Matt Lucas in it. Like, there are so many, like, there's a lot of, in this film in particular, like a lot of famous British people in it. But this movie has Brendan Gleeson, and he's amazing. But the point that I was making, if I had like one complaint, and like this is like the only complaint that I have about the film, and it's honestly just a nitpick because this movie's perfect. In the last movie, Mr. Curry, he doesn't like Paddington, and he plots with Nicole Kidman to get Paddington sent away, and he thinks that he's just getting him simply sent away, because he sees Paddington as like a health risk, and he wants Paddington to go back to Peru. Well, the moment he realizes that Nicole Kidman isn't going to simply send him back to Peru, but is in fact going to kill and then stuff him, Mr. Curry has a change of hearts and calls the Browns and says, hey, this is what's going on with Paddington. And in this new movie, his character regresses to not liking Paddington, and then he's like, let him go away, we never liked him. And the whole thing Mr. Brown says is, no, you never liked him. Even though, and I love how they expanded the neighborhood, the street that Paddington lives on, and like he has like neighbors that are his friends, and like that's really wholesome. Like it's just a really wholesome film series, and I love that. But Mr. Curry, he progresses, and he's honestly, they end him at a worse place. So I'm honestly okay with him not being, I don't think he is, him not being in 3, because they ended Mr. Curry in, I think, a worse place than where they ended him the first time, even though he goes on the same arc. He just, I don't know. That's like my one complaint, especially since I really liked what they did with Mr. Curry, to where, in the first movie, where it isn't that he's not a monster. Nicole Kidman, her character, is a monster. But he is not a monster himself. He just wants this nuisance to go home, He doesn't want this person to be killed. He doesn't want Paddington to be killed. He just wants Paddington to go home. And I don't know, it's nice. And I don't like what they end up doing with him in this sequel. But yeah. But that's honestly my only real complaint. A thing I love that I actually maybe got a little discredited from the on the bonus features is so obviously there's like a Paddington cartoon made in the 90s, but in the 70s, kind of like with the old Thomas the Train show, where it's literally just these toy trains going around, choo choo, and little like wooden or plastic dolls are human characters, and like the story is driven mostly by the narrator. Well, back in the 70s, or 60s, there was a Paddington British TV show that was the same thing. It was stop motion animation, a stop motion Paddington with like fur and stuff, walked around London with these hand-drawn little figures, basically. They're hand-drawn cutout images of people. And there's a sequence in this movie that harkens back to that with the pop-up book. And it's this time Paddington in a digital and like a CGI Aunt Lucy running around London. Now, apparently those illustrations are just, I think, according to one of the bonus features on this Blu-ray, are just that's a reference to the books, just like how Paddington flooding the bathroom in the first film is a reference to the books. But I don't know, I kind of like the connection that this kind of has with the show, that I've never seen, but know exists. So I don't know, maybe it's a bit of both. Like accidentally both. I don't know. Just some food for thought. But yeah, that is it for now. Remember that God made you special. He loves you very much. I hope you have a very lovely day. I hope you have a very lovely week, as always. God bless y'all. And I will not allow this to go to the 10-minute mark. So be safe out there. And love you.